It's another episode of the Vibely Podcast. You're welcome to this episode. Today we talk about what the priests have to do in mobilizing the youth. So the role of the priest in mobilizing the youth of today. Today we are blessed to have in our presence the parish priest of Blessed Sacrament. Yes, Blessed Sacrament. So Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church here at Abilin. Please help me welcome very Reverend Father Francis Otimbewa. Awesome. Welcome, Father. Oh, come on. It is so. Father, how are you doing? What's happening? What's going on? How's the parish faring?
Oh, good. The money.
Everybody's
Father, these days you see youth in Ghana, I'm more call out. Are you experiencing the same thing here at your parish? We leaving your parish to other countries, not to other churches, other countries.
Oh, not. It's a problem. Migration is not something that started today. The ongoing. It's a phase of life. At a point in time, people think that the hardship here is too much unbearable. They want to go and simply that. Like I told you, over there to experience. The opportunity we have here, we have an opportunity to work. Opportunity to make good livelihood, opportunity to make money. Unfortunately, what has lacked in this opportunity is leadership in our country. That has been a problem. They possibly, because they have institutionalized leader, opportunity is blown. I can tell you that, look, when you get to New York City, you see a papa. You see a papa. You get to Manhattan, you see a rich man. You see a rich man. I don't think that they are better off than us. If we have good leadership in this country, who are selfless, this country. But unfortunately, our leaders, they are all selfish.
Amen.
They are selfish.
And COVID, and our father just came back from the US 2 weeks ago.
So
it's not theory.
Well, it's good to know your thoughts on this, Father. I think this education will go out to your youth. That we have opportunities here. You can travel and you're still not going to make up. So just right. We want to delve into our topic for today, the role of the priest. And I think Father will do a lot of the talking. But what has been the role of your various priests, or the experience of the priests in your various parishes? What have been your experiences? And then what's your thoughts on how the priests have been handling youth matters in the Archdiocese? As Magdalene is currently the vice president, the vice chairman of the ADISEC. Tell us your experience.
What's ADISEC?
Oh, Archdiocese. What? Yeah, it's Accra. Magdalene, let's set the ball rolling.
So the priests have a lot of influence, and a lot of the time we try to, I don't know if little is the word, but we pretend as if we don't know or we don't want to see, because from our experience, around 3 to 4 priests at my parish, and there's always a difference. And a lot of the time, we tend to behave or pretend as if the priest doesn't have any influence. But if the priest connects with people, the priest bonds with people, it cuts across all things. So you see people participating in spiritual programs, you see people participating in social programs across board. But if the priest is not really connecting with the people well, you realize there's a drop. And that one also cuts across the drops in participation in mass. Even people voluntarily wanting to serve. You see it in service. People don't show up for service. It's very difficult to get people to do things. So from where I sit, the priest has a lot of influence on the not just the youth, but the entire church.
Magdalene touches on a very great point about influence. And Elvis, tell us your experience when it comes to priests. Yeah.
Yes, I think what we normally say, Father says, it works.
Father say.
It works. It works. Because taking my own parish as an example, recently we went to Soutium for a strategic session for the youth council, and my priest was there throughout with us. He was there. He had other invitations to attend, but he didn't. Throughout, he ate what we ate, slept where we slept. Have you been there before? You know their rooms. Soutium. Exactly. He slept. He didn't sleep at where when we go priests sleep. No, in those dormitories. And his presence was very, much felt. So, if our priest will be with us in anything we do, even planning with us and making suggestions with us, I think it helps with the priest. They being with us all the time will go a long way to maintain us and push us forward and even edge us on.
I'll take the last time before we ask Father his very first question. Audrey, your experience with priests. I want you to touch on maybe things that you feel maybe the priest is not really coming forth with. Maybe a few of the experiences you've not had very well, gelling very well with certain priests as a youth leader. You don't understand my question. Relax. She
understands. She doesn't want to
No, but you just share your experience with your thoughts. Yes, your experience, your thoughts on what the role of the priest is.
Well, I will feed off what Magdalene and Elvis said, and I would also add that their involvement with the youth or with parishioners goes a long way. Because as Elvis said, if they are with us in the planning, in the executing of programs or activities in the church, it brings people around to attend these programs. So I think that's our argument.
Very well. So, Father, as a priest, I want to know genuinely, what are the things that you hear people say that the priests are not doing so well? And I don't know whether people are able to are bold enough to tell these to our priests, but what are the things that are falling into your ears that you feel that they are saying our priests are not doing so well?
Before Father comes in, I think 1, 2, 3 have said all the good things, but leaving the bad side. I think we should look at it.
What is the bad side?
The bad side, like the priest not having time for most of it.
I can say it.
I'm asking Father what he has heard about it.
You know.
I think as to what I've heard people are saying about
Or your own experience with what you have seen, yes.
This is a nice question. It's quite a straightforward question because I'll be frank, people will not talk a lot about, if about me, they will talk a lot about. You understand? They will say the bad things that are in your parish about you. You may have few people to say it, but I can say from a pastoral experience, when I'm involved with them, it has been very commendable. So on my part, my involvement with them has been very commendable. They have enjoyed my presence. I've also enjoyed their presence. And I've been a way forward, better relationship. I don't know other parishes. I don't know other rectorates. I don't know other churches. But if there is any and that's what I've heard from the same front from other churches. Or you come to a parish and they will tell you, oh, about your predecessors. They'll say one or two things, which. But normally, I would say, I ask them, well, tell me the good things you think. After the bad, it's obvious. So sometimes they'll tell you, well, a few good things, and I think it's enough. I don't want to go to the bad. Because when you hear the bad, there's nothing good. You can't improve upon the bad. You understand? So I look at the positive. Rather stick to build on the positive, the strengths, than to look at the weaknesses that you can't do anything about it.
I answered the question very diplomatic.
He's talking about his experience. Now I want to know. No, I think it is fair that for Father we can commend the works he's done over the past. I mean, he's not one of the priests we can say that they are anti-youth, because we can pinpoint.
That I agree with you.
We can pinpoint.
But I also believe that
Yeah.
in the priesthood fraternity, they know.
Oh, they should. That is why I would want to ask you. It seems that we have bashes we want to bash, which are allowed because I love that. No. I understand. We would want to look at. Mine is that we want to look at, aside the good, we want to look at certain things that the priests are doing. Maybe they are not even conscious of them, which are not really, which is not really bringing or bonding the youth. So maybe you can share your experience. Jerry, you want to share your experience on? My friend, my very good friend, Alex is also here. He's gonna share his experience as well. You know, Father came from the US, you know, and I'm also feeling the US back. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Hey.
So as Father said, Father rightly said that I know Father knows that most of his people are not doing.
So what are they? No. So what are they doing wrong? What are they doing wrong? Mention the times. What are they doing wrong?
Hold on.
Okay,
Jerry,
Father knows some of his own people are not doing the right thing.
Okay. Which is
most of them not.
Some
of them not getting involved with the youth activities. Like, in a way, if you are a youth chaplain, all your work is for the youth. There's a parish priest and there's a
would you be surprised to know there are some churches without youth chaplains?
Those people I understand because
you understand?
It's selling on them because if the whole church and there's no youth chaplain, sometimes
big headache, but you continue.
But those with the youth chaplains, the work of the youth chaplain is to make sure is bringing the youth on board. This is where they don't have time for the youth and have time for other things.
No, you see, when you talk about the youth chaplain, yes, you may go to a parish, there are 2 or 3 priests, there's one head. The parish priests have instituted you or have appointed you to be in charge of it. But unfortunately, it goes back to leadership. You have assigned me to the youth. I serve as a kind of liaison between the youth and you, the pastor. You understand? So if there are issues, I should be the first person to tell you, or I should tell you. But you see, sometimes, as I've said, administration is never taught.
Yeah.
If you are not one who observes and who wants to know, you may not know administration. Administration is not about master, yes. It's about coordinating. So your parish priest appoints his younger brother priest as in charge of the youth. Yet he is not consulting him in relation to anything about the youth. He goes to see the youth leadership to discuss issues with them. And sometimes he does it without even consult to the youth chaplain. So the chaplain is sitting there, he feels useless. Then he's kind of withdrawn. I can share testimonies about that. I'll mention the name of the church.
Hold on, my friend.
The name of the church. But I was assigned as the youth chaplain. Do you get it? Then, issues or activities of the youth is through me, must be coordinated by me. And I have to report. I report, then you realize that behind me a kind of investigation is done. So I ask myself, if there is no trust,
Why do you work?
why do I work? Where is my integrity? Why do I have to? So you see, if you have someone like me, then if it happens like that, I would simply withdraw. So that you deal with the youth directly. But when you realize that you are there when things are getting escalating, problem is coming, that's when you say, oh, you are the youth chaplain. No, I won't tolerate that attitude. So it is not the issue about the youth chaplain being inactive, but it may be an issue of administration from the pastor. You get it? So if the pastor knows what administration is very well, then you should be able to know that, look, I have assigned someone for this responsibility. Even when PYC are going to meet, the youth chaplain must be there.
Yeah.
Even if the pastor is free, he should be there also. But unfortunately, PYC is meeting, the pastor is not there. PYC is meeting, the youth chaplain is not there. So you realize that their coordination, no one, and it's kind of left them on their own. Then PPC is meeting, and everyone. I ask myself, why? What is the problem? You understand? So, as I said, coordination and administration is very, 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 very important. That you should know where I play my role as a pastor, which is coordinating, and where I play my role as administrator, which is more administration. You understand? And you have to intertwine it in order to what? Get the parish going. So if a pastor doesn't know that or a priest doesn't know that, they will always creating that problem. And that is why sometimes you see, you may think that the youth chaplain has distance himself. Not because he has distance, because of the problem he's having with his pastors. He doesn't want trouble.
So from what Jerry has come,
play in at the devil. You said it
would
nicely.
never
Yes, you said it nicely. But this is the way. Sometimes you don't get a youth chaplain getting closer to their pastor or their priest before even coming to the youth meeting. You see them busy on other things, but forgetting that they are in charge of the youth, and therefore, before he even come to youth PYC meeting, you should have a discussion with the PP and get to know the PP's mind before coming.
So, boss, you are talking about a scenario where the relationship between one and the PP is very cordial.
Yes.
Normally, they do on consulting.
On consulting.
Okay.
Well, that's
So they have time for other things like chilling, going out.
Hey, honorable.
Your poor man now, his
My friend.
out.
It's okay.
I want to listen to the
Father wants to come again.
this
No, Father wants to wait. Let me
practice.
practice.
Oh. Now becoming
Let me come in with something. Fortunately or unfortunately for us, administration leadership should move from periphery to the center. You understand? Which is all involved. But should move from the center to the periphery. But we leave it for it to move from the periphery to the center, which creates problem. Unfortunately, this is what we see in our archdiocese, some parishes. Do you understand? But I always recall the words of the prophet of the book of Hebrews. He said the priest is chosen from the people. He comes from the people. The priest didn't come from heaven. He comes from the people. Among the people of God, one is appointed a priest. That was the first line. So the priest must know that in spite of anything and everything, he is from the people. And this is what Pope Francis said. Let him smell like the sheep. You get it? Let him smell like the sheep. So he must have that collegiality of relationship with his people. But it is unfortunate. As soon as a person is ordained a priest, he thinks that he has become a second God.
That's not Jesus.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Is that what the seminary formation trained him to be? Is that his perspective of the priesthood? Is that what he had desired? So to me, the element of that must be a role of a humble shepherd and a sheep relationship. So if the people are not coming, certainly the people will not come. It is you, the priest, who must move towards them. I remember my days in the Ashore. When I went there first, after Mass, I used to greet around. Then I started in front of my office. At that time, I didn't have office. But when I built the pastor's office or the small secretariat, I'll come there. Then we started with the youth, we scattered somewhere. But I will go to them. I will go to them and to greet them, interact with them. At the end of the day, when I realized everything I did, I said, you guys, when you go, what are you going to do? Oh, nothing.
Then you stay.
Then let's go to my house. You get it? Let's go to my house. So I was going to say, it was not about my food. Yeah. It was not about my drinks. Because in my view, I can say, you are not fan of drinking alcohol. Few of them, I mean.
Alex.
But you see, it was the fraternity we celebrated. That was my greatest joy. After the end of the day, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, when they leave my house, I have become empty. I become alone. Had they gone home, they were also going to be in their cells.
Yeah.
Do nothing. But at least having fraternized with me and having had time also for them, it was building their confidence and relationship with who? The priest. So I think that leadership should rather be from center to the periphery than moving from the periphery to the center. Always it will create a problem. Because if you don't go to them, you will never come to you.
Father has been able to deal with the two sides of the sword. I mean, you wanted to mention something. Yes. No, he wanted to come in. Come on.
Because if you are letting me talk, either father and that's not the point that is making.
Oh no, it was prudence that father came in when Jerry. You mentioned what to know.
No problem. Okay, so there are two sides of it.
Okay.
Father mentioned that you see the priest is supposed to be a shepherd. The Holy Roman Catholic Church is not a shepherd. The role of the priest was supposed to be the shepherd. Me, I see it as, the church, nobody has taught me this. But from what I see, the priest is the head of the church. Not because the priest is special, but then maybe the church feels like, okay, this individual has gone through this formation for this number of years. So I can entrust the church to this person because I can have some confidence that having gone through this formation, this person will be able to do things the way we want it to be done in the churches. So the priest is entrusted with authority. It depends on what that priest will do authority. And I've come to realize that, you see, there are different people, different approaches, different complexes, different temperaments, and all of that. If the priest wants to behave as a CEO of the church, he will create a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, and some priests do that.
No one is like your private business.
Exactly. Some priests want to be like the CEO of the church. Men are the young boss and the pay and the pay. Because I have the power. You don't have the power. They will leave it for you to do.
That's true.
Oh. But if the priest identifies himself as the shepherd, I am just the leader of the flock. And mind you, the kind of shepherd I'm talking about is the shepherd as of Jesus Christ. The one who will lead the 99 in search of the one. You get it? So it fits with what Father was saying, that it depends on the individual. Father mentioned administration. I will bring in the temperaments and the character and the subai even before he went to the seminary. If the priest wants to behave like a CEO, and unfortunately, you know, I've worked in the deanery, I know what's happening in other churches. So sometimes when I talk, I'm not talking about what's happening in my church. I know what's happening in other churches. I don't care about what they say. In other churches, you will find the priest scheming. Or yeah, agenda or she shared name. You get it? Like relax. In some parishes you find the priest scheming. Not just about the youth.
Yeah.
Even
the PPC,
the general church. He wants to pursue his agendas.
So ugly.
It will create a problem. It will create a problem. But if the priest sees himself as a servant leader and as somebody who is just brought to guide these people, then it will be beautiful, as Father has said. So to me, let me come out to our topic for the day. The priest is central. The priest is central to everything. If you go to any parish and the parish is vibrant, it means automatically there's a vibrant priest. You will never go to any place that there's a vibrant community that the priest is not vibrant. It's not possible.
It's true.
You can go to a place that you may find a vibrant priest, but then the people are not vibrant. Maybe it's work in progress. It's now,
but it works. Yeah.
On it. But if you go to a vibrant priest, automatically it would mean that there's a vibrant priest there.
Like my place. You've not mentioned. You've not mentioned. Yeah, Bishop Momu. My Lord, please take one from there. No, my Lord, never. No. Hey. Father Ghost. We are Samamo. Father Salifu. How?
Ghost from Adam.
Adam. This combo is mad, but the truth is that when you go to Dodoma, St. Agnes, they because it's a growing community.
You are becoming too biased with Father Emmanuel Mary.
I'm a bishop.
Why?
I'm a bishop.
I'm sorry, let's.
I'm a bishop.
I didn't mention everybody. Did I mention someone's name? That's fine. On the active piece, yes. I think we should be talking about the roles. That's why so that Father will just.
It has something to do with the rules, and something I've noticed. Sometimes in selection of or placement of the priest, I don't know if we take into consideration their temperaments, like you mentioned. So if you have
that's a very problem.
yeah, if you have like a typical choleric,
like to like.
Because if you have two straight faces, no smiling, I mean, it becomes difficult to.
You mean when there are two priests?
Yeah, when there are two.
They should be opposite temperaments.
Yeah, or
So
complementary.
that they balance.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not part of the
Selection.
consultants or in the mind of the bishop, how he does his appointment. But I mean, I can believe that yes, he may be taking a lot of consideration.
Yeah, I hope so.
His appointment.
Yeah.
So just pray for him. But yeah, you're sure about the role of the priest in what
In
mobilization of the youth. It's very critical and very crucial. As we have said, we have already highlighted the fact that the priest is the leader of the community. And fortunately or unfortunately for us, that is the face of the church. without the priest, the growth of the church is quite not too active and strong. So the priest plays that significant role and must play it very well. That he's not just there as a priest, he's there also as a shepherd. So the role of a pastor, the role of a model, the role of administrator, all are active in it. But as I've said, how he coordinates it is very, very important. It's very, very important. You can't do these activities without what? Coordination. You see, and it falls under administration, it falls under pastoral works, it falls under leadership. So I think a priest of the Roman Catholic Church placed in the parish must first and foremost realize that he is there for the people, must be with the people, and it must be for the people. Do you understand? You are not on your own. I sometimes say that, I say, look, if it is left with business, then we all would have been champion our own business. You know what? Any serious entrepreneur who ventures into business will seek for successes. Will not like his or her business to run down. Because if it runs down, how would he or she eat? And that same philosophy and principle must be. If you have become, the fact that you have become a priest of the church doesn't mean that you have become a god. You should rather realize that it is an enterprise. How you make it successful depends upon the these three roles we have mentioned already: leadership, pastor, administrator. Actively well, so that you have a good rapport and a representation among the people. You get it? So I believe strongly, and I believe strongly that some priests may think that, oh, I'm here for only pastoral work, others are not concerned. Remember, if the church becomes very active, and everyone is eager. If you say eager or eager? Eager to come to church, it is to your credit.
Yeah.
But if you are inactive and unconcerned, and the people also become slack, it is to your detriment. It's not a credit. But remember, if you create it actively well, and the patronization is well, as it becomes your credit, your successor also build upon it. But if you create it another passive way, you make your successor, even no matter how active you do, it will take a long time. But as we say, there are proliferation of churches. So if one feels that he is not welcoming, or what he needs is not getting, don't go away. Remember the words of Christ. It is you have allowed them to go astray. You have allowed them to go astray. As a shepherd leader, you must be looking out for your lost sheep, but you have allowed them to go astray. So, to me, I believe strongly the church's character is seen in the face of the priest who is at the parish. Priests should come on board. The youth in the church are ready. You may have some who are trouble, some who want to give you a hell of time. It is human. It is institutionalized. There is no institution that will find some people who propel you or disagree with you. on one or two issues. But they are the minorities. They are the minorities. If you focus and keep your focus and vision of active parish, active church youth community, at the end of the day, you come to the church. And the youth will say, bravo, you have done it, you have done it. So let priests come out. We are servants. They know me. I mean, I was like, I show man few churches that they know me. I struggle and strive every day to bring in youth. My parish community, we don't have the resources in terms of finance, but I tell them that nothing we could do to support your programs and make your program active. We will do it. We will do it. Sometimes they're producing, when they bring the budgets, yes, it's extremely, but fine-tune them. Fine-tune them. And you realize they appreciate the fact that you are fine-tuned them.
You always cancel.
You are ready to do something for them. And they are eager. If I will tell you today, just after Mass, my youth brought a budget for a program almost 14,000. I said that will take the whole month's my income. You look at it, go and do something. Go and do something. I mean, that road trip they want to go. I said they'll go. I want them to go. I want them to embark on the road trip. If I had time, I would have joined them. I want them to go. But I mean, look at the ABCD. I mean, look at it. You gave me expenditure budget. What about the expected income? So go and do it. Balance the two. Let's see. If you at the end of the day realize that there are two, why not? Oh, just create a fund for you and you go. You get it. But someone would have thrown, oh, get away. Disorient them. I remember, I have a philosophy. Coming to church is a voluntary act. It is not obligation. You can't force someone to come to church. If one comes to church, you can't force him or her to give for collection. And have expected amount to bring. But look, if you encourage them, they will give you when you least expect it. So to me, maybe you ask my father was.
Well, yeah. Father has thrown a lot of light on the role of the priest in mobilizing the youth. Father, I was shocked to know that there are some priests who do not even emphasize on even announcements made by the youth. Maybe we are having a program. You do not come. Do not talk about it with what you say that the priest has an influence. But there's also one thing that's about the theocratic nature of the church, where the priest is somewhat in charge of.
Autocratic or
Theocratic? Yes, the priest is in charge of the community. I think that another role that the priest can play is where they get to come up with good policies that help the youth. We know that yes, we are not supposed to look at certain things but to gain certain things from the church. But you know that a lot of times people leave the church or people are dormant in church because of certain things like education, jobs without influence. I don't know if it is possible to. I know certain priests do that. Just do a few talks with people. They always say that people have gone to spoil their place and all that, but just those goals, getting the people to support the youth, even outside the church. I think that's one of. Are there any other roles we want to mention?
Yeah, what I want to say is that, you see, let's not put the impression as if, that's what I didn't agree with Jerry, that like it's a majority of the priests are not doing some of the positive that I'm talking about. And a lot of priests are doing lots of positive things. But you see, but there are also priests who there are some issues. You get it? So I don't want to look at this podcast was meant to bash priests. But I think it's just to show the key importance especially from our perspective of the priest in administration of the church, and how we feel that they are very central to whatever goal that we have as youth. Because if we have them in the boat with us, we'll smile and restore.
Very, very, very great. We need your presence, use your influence. Any last ones before we take Father's last words? Alex has not said anything. Alex, say something. You give them shout out. What are the roles you feel the priest should be going to, for reading?
Personally, the only place I encountered and I was very close to was Father. Yes, so I can't say much for other priests because I was closer to men. I think I was coming to church constantly because as you see me at an angle and shout my name.
Wow, okay.
You understand? Yeah. So
And when you went,
we haven't been to church.
Yeah.
Alright. So today we talked about the role of
Mr. Charles said something. It's not like we are bashing the play, but it's true we are not bashing the play, but my part is my part. Yours is yours. Mine is priest are not doing what
violence.
Some priests.
are not doing what I'm supposed to do.
But
So don't let it look like we are not bashing them. We are bashing them.
Hey, I am bashing them.
We are letting them go.
Right, guys.
For
I
instance,
guess your
let's
presence. So we want to take Father's last words on the role of the priest mobilizing the youth, and then we'll wrap around here. So Father, your last words.
So my last words are thank you for the opportunity to share the discourse with you. And also I invite our brother priest that we play a very significant role in the youth formation of various parishes. The youth is the future of the church. I think recently Father Mikey Mensah in his keynote address to the Accra West Knights of St. John's and Ladies Auxiliary said, look, if frantic effort is not taken, in the next 30 years, our churches will be empty of our youth, which may be very prophetic. So I would plead with brothers that look, let us all come on board. The youth needs the formation. They need our support. They need our presence. They need us to lead them so that we can build a very significant church. Their presence will go a long way to help the growth of the Catholicity in our archdiocese and in our nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So we had in our midst here as our guest, very Reverend Father Francis Otin, you are parish priest of Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church here at Abilene. Thank you so much, guys. It's been an awesome time here.
no, they are doing it.
Before you go, say CSM. Bye.